We often get questions regarding rates and meters and how that works, especially when it comes to um, overage. So most metered units will have a rate, just like a regular daily rate of machines that are not metered. But when you go over the usage that you are allotted, whether it's for the daily, the weekly, or the monthly, there is a fee. It's like any overage back in the day when people used to rent cars and there was a limit. So they'll say when you rent a car for a day, you get 200 kilometers. And if you go over the 200 kilometers, this is how much it's going to cost you. Think of it as a lease. So when you lease a car, they'll say for the 3 years that you're leasing the car, you are going to get 36,000 kilometers. And when you go over the 36,000 kilometers, each kilometer has a price or a rate, as they call it. It's the same thing when it comes to rentals. So where do you actually find that information? So let's go find an asset. So let's go with asset 2001-05, which is an air compressor. Let's go look at our rates. And we use group rates. So these are our standard rates. So we get a 4 hour, a daily, weekly, monthly. But today we'll concentrate on the daily, weekly, monthly. When we go here, when we expand, our daily rate includes 8 hours of usage of that machine at $75 a day. Okay, so let me repeat. The daily rate is $75 a day. So when you rent this machine, it is $75 for the day. But in the $75 for that day, you have included 8 hours of usage, which means if you use the machine for 9 hours, the first 8 hours are included as part of the $75, but the extra hour will cost you another $18.75. And every hour then, up to as many hours as you've kept the machine going. Okay? It's the same thing for the weekly. So the weekly includes 40 hours, and the weekly rate is $225. So the $225 buy you 40 hours of usage. And every hour on top of that is going to cost you $56.25. And for the monthly, same concept. The monthly rate is $675. That $675 gives you 160 hours of usage. And for every hour on top of that, it is going to be $168.75. Okay? So the vast majority of people use this method, which is every extra hour has a given rate depending on the period, daily, weekly, or monthly. Small subset of people use the shift method. So it's hourly or shift. And the shift usually you say for the daily, for example, if you go over the 8 hours, the next portion of charges will be another 8 hours. So we'll give you a shift. So we say you've gone to 9 hours, use the machine for another however many hours as said in the shift, and we'll charge you for the shift. So the shift could be every 3 hours on top, every 5 hours. Some people set it up every 8 hours, depending on what the shift period is. If you've gone over, you must just use the machine for that allotted extra time, and there will be a fee for that. The cleanest and the easiest to calculate is the hourly, like this, the way this is set up. So that for every hour, there's a determined uh, overage amount that you are going to be charged. And that's how it usually works. Okay. And that's how this is set up now. So if you were to rent this machine for the day, for the amount of time that a day is, and you get 8 hours, should you go over, the system will calculate the overage based on these rates that you have entered here. And the system knows how to calculate that. And that's true for the weekly, that's true for the monthly. The system looks at, okay, what is the period that's been rented for? What is the allotted time for that given period? And what is the end result of the number of hours that the unit has been out for? And then the system will determine what the average should be based on these rates here. Okay. Any questions? Let me know. Thank you.